Welcome to another exciting episode of Amiga Retro Adventures. Well, exciting might be a perspective thing, but hopefully it's informative, if nothing else. So as you see before you, there's a 3.1 Kickstart screen waiting for me to insert the floppy, but that's not what I'm going to do right now. What I want to do is I want to take this device here, which I got off of eBay. It's a Kickstart socket adapter to make 512 kilobyte ROMs on revision 5A motherboards function properly without a myriad of wiring and pin relocation. And I will show you what I mean by that. I'll move the keyboard out of the way and slowly, okay, there we go. Let me see if I can zoom in here. There. So this is the 3.1 512 kilobyte Kickstart ROM. Now the revision 5 motherboards, which this is, can only, and it was through an error of engineering from Commodore, can only address 256 kilobyte ROM. So which means if you wanted to upgrade to the 2.0 or 3.1 ROMs that went from 256 kilobytes because it needed more code to 512, they would not work in this motherboard. Now this one is a 3.1 and it's more elaborate. Normally on the 2.0s you jump around, I think, from pin 1 to 31. That's it, and you leave the pins as is. Unfortunately on the, get a bit closer here, on the 3.0 ROMs, or 3.1 I should say, it requires a bit more wiring, I believe. So I can't remember the exact pinout numbers, but as you can see there's two jumpers, and the one pin where these meet, actually, there's one pin that has to be pulled out on the chip so it's not making contact with the socket, and then the one wire goes directly into where the pin would have been. So it's not very desirable as far as I'm concerned. It works, but I don't know how stable that will be, and it doesn't look very healthy. So like I said, it works, but with this adapter, this should, when I plug it in like so, when I put the 3.1 ROM in, I won't need any of that wiring. And apparently it also has fixes, I guess, with these resistor packs here on the sides to make it more stable. I'm not sure about that exactly, but because I've never had issues doing it like this way. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we will get a 3.1 ROM and install this into the socket and see if it boots up okay. But what I'm going to do, since I'm going through the hassle of doing this, let me zoom out here. Always out. There we go. You think I'd get the hang of this camera, but anyway. What I'm going to do is, there's some of you may know that Hyperion Entertainment basically has a licensing agreement to produce Amiga ROMs. There was a slight update to the 3.1 ROM, the 3.1.4, which has many bug fixes that have been addressed. And so since I'm going to install this socket, I might as well burn a 3.1.4 ROM, place it in this socket that I just showed you, and hopefully it will work. So give me one moment, I'll get to the PC and I'll show you how quickly I can burn another ROM from the 3.14 package that I bought from Hyperion, I think around December. So I shall be with you in 1 second. Hello, I am now in the room where my PC resides. Right now you're looking at a TL866 Universal Programmer USB 2.0 interface. This is the device that I need to program the EPROMs, the UV erasable ones, like so, which I believe is the
I Believe is a popular song written by Irvin Graham, Jimmy Sherlin,
Shut up, you!
1953. I Believe was commissioned and introduced by Jane Cronin on her television show.
Oh my god. Alexa!
Song ever introduced.
Stop! Sorry about that. Stupid thing. Technology. Anyways, back to the topic. Here we go. The EEPROM, or the UV EEPROM that I'm using, is the it's an AMD chip actually. It's the 27C400, so it has 512 kilobyte space. So I can fit the 3.1.4 ROM on that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I will show you how we can quickly do this. And put the box over here. Move the camera so you can see what I'm doing without getting anyone too motion sickness. Zooming out. There we go. Still kind of hoping I'm going to get a capture card one of these days, but oh well. Wrong direction again. There we go. Now we might be able to see this a bit better. I'll try to keep this as centered on screen as I can. So actually, first thing I need to do, sorry, I kind of jumped the gun here. Or is it the shark? There we go. So I'm going to place this chip into here. Now you notice on the programmer I have this adapter. It's required. You can see this is the main programmer. The adapter, the other socket, applies on top, and it will allow me to program these series of chips. So I will first install that into the socket. I will zoom in a bit more. There we go. And it goes on the bottom on this one, like here, and it's a ZIF socket, zero insertion force, so it just, you know, sits in, and then I just pull down the lever and it's locked down. There we go. So now that is ready for its new life as an Amiga Kickstart ROM. So now I actually have to zoom out again and show you how I can quickly do this. Now I've already purchased the ROMs off of Hyperion's website. So, and it's kind of nice, they have ones that you can burn and they have ones that you can use as a map ROM feature. Basically, the ones that you burn, if it's an Amiga 1200 or any of the 32-bit Amiga computers, there'll be two sets. There's a high and low for the bit range, and then there's a single one for, of course, the like Amiga 600, 2000, 500, like the 16-bit machines. So we shall get to the program to program this. And they also have ones too that you can use for the MapRun feature. So if you just want to like use an accelerator card to remap it to memory and boot from that, which pretty much every Amiga accelerator card does. So let me find the program I desire. That's not it. One second. I desire this program. Nope, that's not it either. Let me not do that. Let me do this. Oh, come on. This is the one I need. This is the tool, the Mini Pro version 6.71, because that's important, which will program this chip. Okay, oops, sorry about that. Okay, I need to change, I believe that's the correct one. Yep, it's set fine. Okay, so I'm going to now load the ROM image. And hopefully I have it sitting where I need it. 34A, okay. And A500, 600, they're zipped, so I should have to, nope, that's not gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna leave this open. Bear with me, I need to extract that. I'll go into my directory, okay, Amiga, and then Amiga OS, 3.14A, and I'm gonna grab the ROM I need. So you see it says to burn, and then unsplit, unswap. And that's what I was talking about before. The unsplit, unswapped, you use that for map ROM features, for accelerator cards. You don't have to burn anything, it's just a file. That's it, and you boot from it. Basically it loads it into memory, patches things here and there, and so it doesn't get overwritten, and then it boots from that, so you don't have to actually physically remove the Kickstart to your computer. But I want an actual copy, so this is the to burn. So this is for what I'm using right now. So I'm going to be physically burning this onto an EEPROM. So I'm going to copy this here onto my desktop. There we go. Now I can load it once I go to where I'm going. 1 second. There's desktop. Scroll down to the... it starts with Kick. This icons are... there we are. Okay. leave everything the way it is, and I click OK. So it's loaded in there. You can even see the exact library version in there, so I know this is the right chip just from experience. I've burnt this before. I have to uncheck this. This board, it works really well, but that adapter board I showed you, but it's not an actual, AMD. Sorry, AM27C4096. It's actually the 27C400. So the ID, it will error if I don't. It says, hey, that's the wrong kind of chip, I'm not going to burn. So you just uncheck that. But other than that, they're pin for pin compatible. They work just fine. So now I shall burn it. So I hit program. And if everything goes well, let's see what happens. So now I will hit the program button. And now it's programming the chip. You can see down there that the red light is on. That's telling you that it's writing, and the yellow light's just the fact it has power. So that was on before. So it's going okay. Once this completes, it will do a quick checksum, and I will speed this up so we don't have to sit here and watch this. Okay, it is done. So it programmed and did a quick verify, no errors. Excellent. And what's good about these are erasable by using a UV light. I bought a very cheap UV eraser off of eBay, 30, let's say 30 bucks. And it works well. It takes about 20 minutes to erase the chip, but it's better than buying new ones, obviously. And if you make mistakes or other issues, alas, it can be erased and you can start over again. Too bad you can't do that with life in general, but alas, that's the way that works. And I'm going to stop saying alas. This will be the last time I say alas in this video. Sorry. Okay. So we're done here. I can just cancel that and close this. And I'm going to go back to the 500 and we'll try to install that adapter with this chip and see if it boots up. I shall return. And we have returned. Yes. So this will be the last time I cannot speak again today. This will be the last time, hopefully, that we see the 3.1 ROM version 40.063, and we will see the 3.1.4 Hyperion Entertainment logos, hopefully. So I shall turn off the beloved 500, Amiga 500 that is, and we shall begin. So no power, which is a good place to start. And I'll move this tripod a bit closer and get down to where the action will be on the beloved ROM chip. There we go. So I am going to extract that with the chip puller, hopefully without wrecking it. Gotta make sure you put it under the chip, not the socket, or else, well, if you try to rip the socket out completely from the motherboard, that would be bad. So gently, back and forth. There we go. So I might be able to show you what I'm talking about here. The one jumper wire, I believe, goes from pin 1. And as you can see, it's actually, see? So it actually plugged into the socket where the soldered pin is that jumpers to here. Now some people just pry those off and let them hang there and solder to the top, but I was pretty confident, so I just cut the pin so it wouldn't make any contact, with that one there. So yeah, it's a bit of the 2.0 ROMs aren't too bad. They go from pin 1, I believe, to 31, but there's no, you just solder it kind of like this one is. You don't cut the pin off, you don't have to put this one into the board. So I'm hoping that the adapter board will fix that, and of course the ROM that we just burned works. And just to prove what I'm talking about, if I can get over here, you should see, oh, 1 second. Sorry for this camera, I'm still on the tripod. There you go. It is a revision 5. So if I put in that 3.1 ROM in there, it will not boot. It'll just stay at a black screen, and that pretty much will be it. So let me tighten that back up again. get into the area of interest. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to put this into the socket. There we go. And the notch is right here at the top, and the notch is also at the top of this socket. So as long as they line up, I'll be right back. I have to get something. As I was saying, as long as they line up, they will be fine. I had to get my contact cleaner. I always like to do this on sockets before I put in new contacts. These ones are gold plated, so they should be okay. Let that dry up a bit. Excellent. I used to have compressed air kicking around, but I ran out, and that stuff is horribly expensive, so I don't buy lots of it. Okay, so let's line this up with the socket. There we go. That feels like that's lined up. Let me just double check. It looks okay. Okay, some even pressure. There we go. Nice crinkly type noises. But it looks like it's in okay. It looks fine. If I did not put it in right, I'm pretty sure I would find out. I'm just looking for any misplaced pins. There are not. And I will spray the top of this as well. And I will prepare the, sorry for my hand in the way, the chip for insertion. And it looks like it's okay. I'll have to straighten out some of these pins. This one's been reused. I mean, the EEPROM, I've had it before, so I just have to straighten out one of these pins, and I shall be right back. So I'm going to now attempt to install this into the socket without wrecking anything. Okay, there we go. Seems nice. You can see I made a nice sticker for it. Hopefully that wasn't in vain, because if it didn't take for some reason the programming of the EEPROM, of course I'd have to remove that sticker and then try flashing it again. Well, I'd have to erase it with the UV. So that looks like it's in okay. Everything is firm. It's good. And now the moment of truth. We'll see about that, won't we? Okay. So let me get this lined up a bit. Gonna have to go up a bit higher, I think, and just tilt this up a bit more. Sorry for the repositioning. There we go. Might as well throw on the keyboard since I'm at it. So yes, I am that confident that this is going to work, that you know, I can just put everything together, because you know that's the way it works. Everything's awesome. Okay, but if it truly will be awesome, we will find out. Okay, it's connected. There's lots of room between that daughter board. And now the moment of truth. Here goes absolutely nothing. I'm now turning on the power. Look at that. Extreme, and I say extreme success. So, one, the EEPROM that I burned was a success. And as you can tell by the different logo, so now this thing has been upgraded to 3.1.4, plus that daughter board works just fine, because if I didn't use that, if I just plugged that chip in directly, this would not boot. Because remember, the revision 5s cannot access Kickstart ROMs over 256 kilobytes. So it would just sit there at a black screen and do absolutely nothing. So I will see if this thing actually boots up off of the workbench disk. 1 second. Okay, here we go. I have the oh, there we go, the install 3.1.4 disk. I shall insert it into the drive, and it should boot up just fine. Yes, normally this screen is a purplish hue. I don't know why this camera shows it as blue, but oh well. It's better than nothing, I guess. And there we go. You can see the copyright information. I have no fast RAM. This thing comes with 1 megabyte of chip. I did the conversion on it. It has the Agnes, the 8372A, I believe, so it can access 1 megabyte. But of course it used about that much just booting up. And there she is. Excellent. Now one thing about these ROMs, they do recommend fast ROM to come with them. So I can always put a 3.1 ROM in here or whatever ROM I want now with that daughter board if I have any issues. But ideally they recommend about 1.5 megabytes of RAM. It doesn't matter if it's chip fast, but so this is a bit under spec, but because you can see it eats about half of it. So it does use a bit more resources, but for the purpose of this video, it works just fine. And if I add fast memory, then we're good to go. Excellent. So that's it for this episode. I just want to wish all of my subscribers the best of the holiday season, and I might have another video before the end of the month, and if not, probably near the end of January. I'm not exactly sure what it will be, but I have enough Commodore 64s and Amiga, everything kicking around here. I'm sure I can come up with something. So that's it, and like always, thanks for watching.